Hey YouTubers and YouTuberettes, Connor CEO here. Welcome back to Connor CEO Reactions. Well, at this point, kind of. As you can see, after the crisis, I have been slightly falling behind on my returning reaction videos of the Arrowverse. But one of the good news is that I've reacted to both episode 9 and episode 10 of Arrow, and they will be converted and edited and posted to my channel as soon as possible. But I've been falling behind as well, for a new reason anyway. I've been starting up with a new course to help me boost back up my math and English. So I'm going to have to try and do that and do my video reactions at the same time. So I'm going to have to try and work on a new schedule for my new reaction videos. So something tells me that I probably won't have enough time to react to the return of the Flash, but what I can do from the meantime is talk about the episodes that I've seen so far and how much I like them. But I think we should start off in order that I react to them. Would be the 10th episode return of Batwoman. Now, the one thing I didn't expect about that episode, which of course I didn't see coming, the young teenager that was in the train, I didn't know that she was the cause of it at the start until I've seen her face once again, and then her and Batwoman had a heart-to-heart talk in the women's lavatory. Well, of course, in the UK that's what we call it here, but they call it the restroom or whatever. So what happened was the train got out of control, and thanks to Batwoman's cable attached to her grappling hook, which she had attached to the train railing and to the back of the train. But it turns out that she had a plan that it was going to be stopped because she wanted, because the girl, the hacker, wanted her family to worry about her, which of course there was an unfortunate event that she tried to have the time and the patience to come out to her parents that she's gay. But unfairly to her girlfriend, ex-girlfriend now, that has been pressuring her and telling her that she should come out, because by the looks of things she came out, and her family was completely religious, walking back and forth, holding rosary beads, as everybody goes, they sit there and then they speak quietly and then they move the beads like roundly. But I never did that, but I've seen TV shows that people have done it. So she wanted to be patient towards it, but thanks to her girlfriend pressuring her, she says, if you're not going to tell her that we're going to break up. But thanks to the pushing, the girlfriend walked up and told everybody that she was gay, and it made her parents see her differently, which was unbelievably unfair, because still in this day and age people are finding a hard time to get to come out and tell them their difference of sexuality. It is hard for some people, because look at half of the people in Arrowverse. It took them a good while, but they actually came out to say that they're gay or bisexual. Because good old Captain Cold, after he was done with Legends and the Flash, he came out and said he was gay, and I say congratulations to him. And Wally, he came out that he was bisexual, and Clayton, Roy Harper, he came out he was gay, and I'm proud of all of them in the Arrowverse that we're coming out and no longer afraid. And who says that superheroes need to wear costumes to show how brave they are, or it's the shield? But it's not that anymore. It's the person who's underneath it. So anyway, it caused a lot of questions for Kate to come out, so people can know a lot about Batwoman, especially a Captain America wannabe is basically hounding her and getting pictures together, and all the people are taking video shots saying, "Oh, kiss him, he saved your life," blah blah blah. And then when it came to the point where she was the hacker, she was about to reveal to the mayor some embarrassing footages if she doesn't give her money, because she wants to leave Gotham and start over with her life. But that type of action did come to a price. Alice found her and forced her to record Batwoman to remove her mask and trend all over Gotham who Batwoman really is. And then one thing led to another. Thanks to the girl's hacking skills, she was able to send information to the police and did not reveal Kate's identity as Batwoman. But thanks to her new form of courage, told the Captain America wannabe to back off, and went straight to Catco Worldwide Media and asked for the Pulitzer winner Cara Danvers to write an article about her on the Catco magazine, that Batwoman coming out as gay. And I'm saying fair play to her, and I'm unbelievably proud that Batwoman and Cara and Kate and went together and helped them come through that type of situation, including the Dreamer. If it weren't for Cara and weren't for her courage, and she wouldn't be able to tell everybody that she's a trans superhero, and I'm actually proud of her of that. And then the one thing that was weird, especially after what happened to the world, and the Paragons recreated the Gotham and all over the world, well, Earth Prime, and I bet you the Arrowverse team does not know that's what the Earth is called, and I am certain that they don't know that that there's a brand new multiverse out there. And seeing that the Earth 96 Superman is alive and well, and he no longer has the black around his red, he's back to the yellow, because suffering the greatest loss is no longer part of his life anymore, thanks to the recreation of the universe. Lois, Perry, Jimmy of Earth 96 must have been brought back. And I bet you that means the same for Kingdom Come Batman. He's no longer wearing the exoskeleton, and I bet you that the kid from his world has been brought back as well. And just as soon as everything was going okay, it was also her birthday at the same time. And her stepsister, after what happened to her mother, she was being very dark and very distant, but deep down it was hurting her that she was telling her sister that she's been trying so hard to bond with, has been basically hurting her by telling her to back off. And then, from out of nowhere, she finds Alice walking into a dorm room, but in disguise. And her dad is in prison, and he's already getting crap from people. They're putting razor blades in his food, but he's showing backbone. He's just basically showing his own way. Screw you, I'm just doing my time. Well, unfairly. And then just as soon as the hacker got an internship, or should I say community service, with working with Cat Kane, by removing all the graffiti out of the building, which sounds like a very heavy duty job. And then the next scene, she walks back in back into Wayne Enterprises after finally Mary and herself are finally bonding and working together. She finds Alice in her room, but it turns out it was Beth. So what did Gotham do? And I hope it's not a three twin sister type of thing, because we need to find out what exactly is going on. So hopefully in the next vlog I'll find out and I'll explain. So why don't I just get started with that now? So I'll see you in the next chat, or in the next video, or, well, anyway, see you in the next one. Let's move on to Supergirl episode 10. Ever since she woke up from the crisis, she found that everything has changed. Everything is completely new, and Lex Luthor won humanitarian, and everybody was worshipping over him, including Nia and Alex and everybody else. But thankfully, to John Jones's memory restoring abilities, they remember everything, and Alex nearly gagged. Yeah. And then they saw a commercial where both Lex, Lena, and Supergirl were doing a commercial together, and that just made Kara physically sick. And also, Lena was brought into speed, and she was in shock to find out that her brother was alive, so that explains why that little agreement was made between him and the Monitor, where some things need to be dealt with his sister, and that's for her to be unharmed and memory intact. And shortly enough, when Nia and Brainy were having a nice picnic, they were about to get their smoothies, and then the next thing, another Brainy was there. And another. And another. And a female one. Yeah, and then, some long story short, some of them got erased, and they went into this bar where there was a lot of doppelgangers there, including 3 familiar faces that were trying to protect the World Killer. Yeah. The World Killer sisters, and they didn't need a candle for them to wake up for just one night. There are fortune tellers, and by the sense of things, they're a rip-off. Yeah. And so it turns out one of the Brainies turned out to be evil and trying to bring his Earth back that he had trapped in a bottle. That was very brainiac-y, to bring them back into this existence of the world that they're in now, but that will cause a serious problem. It will cause an explosion. And we get to find out those three circles on top of Brainy's head, which explains a whole lot more, and explains why he wasn't green and purple. Because it turns out he had a horrible childhood or problems with his family. His mother was going a wee bit psycho. So with his father's safety and protection, he put those two circles on his head to keep him in control, and why he looked all blue rather than green. And then big fight happened, and then the next thing we saw the true Brainiac 5, the pure purple and green Brainiac. And he gets new circles, which is instead of his head, it's inside his body. And a lot of other things have been happening. The whole business with Andrea. That she's beginning to work up with her lenses, and that blonde that we saw, that was the name has slipped my mind, because even though Lex Luthor doesn't even know about the grip, both her and Andrea, they know each other, and things are about to get really, really dicey with those two. And Supergirl and Lena had another heart-to-heart talk, but it went seriously nowhere ever since she started to work with not only her mother, who is working with another firm that's basically helping people, and working with Lex Luthor in a full partnership. And instead of listening to Kara's reasons, because it's getting really messed up. I mean, I don't even know where to go from there. And then the female Brainiac told our Brainy to betray the DEO and work with Lex Luthor so they can find more intel about that mystical group that we saw before the crisis started. And and he had to break up with Nia, which was unbelievably agonizing for both of them. And I know for a fact that's not going to last long, I can guarantee that. And it turns out, as soon as Brainy started saying, okay, I wanted to work with you, and the DEO was planning to betray you, and then he's all like, oh, shit, saw that coming, blah, 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 blah. And it turns out a person from the future came into the present, and it turned out to be our season 1, 2, and 3, and 4? No, actually, well, let's just say, long story short, the son of the toy maker, Wen himself, is making his return, which is really great because it's been a while since we've seen the guy. And I wonder how he's going to react to see that Brainy is responsible for his new suit. And I wonder how jealous that would make him. But he'll probably see it on the holograms, as he's been told tons of times, why he went to the 31st century in the first place. So, anyway, I think we should move on and get straight to episode 10 of Black Lightning. So, let's get started with that. Well, let's say with Black Lightning, things started to go in really well. Black Lightning has started to fly all over the place and try to get in contact with Gambit, and told him the weird adventure he went through. He went through another dimension. He finds out that the Superman is real, and he witnessed the end of the world, and he was fighting against the Monitor, other people, and became a part of a group that's insanely huge now, since all of the Arrowverse is in one Earth. And so on, yeah. He finds out that nobody's picking up his signal. Even Jen was still stuck in that world where she was stuck in the first place, and both Jen and Black Lightning came back and started talking what's been really happening, and she is hell-bent of getting his hands on the head guy of the DEO. His name slipped my mind at the moment. She really wants to kill him, because she saw two opposite sides. One, she's in fear with her powers and gets her family killed. One, she abuses her powers and makes people fear her, and she ends up killing her parents. But she's going to make sure that none of those don't happen. She's going to become the Lightning that we all know, and she's going to be hopefully wearing her original suit before that one, because both Gambit and Black Lightning were insanely happy about how much changes it went through. And Anissa, still known as Blackbird, she appears to be part of the Resistance, and luckily with this amazing plan, they were able to get the other meta kids out of the containment facilities that that the ASA had kept them under arrest. And anyway, Gamby had no clue about the whole disappearing and showing up in a multiple Earth, and he has no memory of that. So they had to put everybody up to speed, and the resistance was getting bigger and getting larger, and they were doing their base of operations into the Freelands High School. And a shame we didn't see Two Bits, because I actually love Two Bits since that incident with the phone gets his face knocked in. And things are getting worse with Lynn. She started to create the green light from scratch, being snappy, being aggressive, and she got extremely aggressive on Jefferson, slugging him, slapping him, and telling him about all this crap that he's using his powers to make himself feel good. But she's not really seeing that the green light in the system is messing her up, especially when the ASA planned for that chemical to be in her system in the first place when she drank that wine. Then the resistance, they got really big. They were doing the fight for Freeland, and even Jefferson was on board with it. And it still feels like that Anissa was still being undershadowed, because when she was getting ready to do the plan, and everybody was saying, what's Black Lightning feel about this idea, especially when they were trying to call him non-stop because they have no idea about the world ending. He was saying his thoughts, and then Anissa felt shadowed, and basically had a heart-to-heart thing. But Jefferson did understand where she was going for it. I mean, she's an older woman, and she's trying to make her own stand, which is starting off pretty good, because she has two personas now. She's Black Lightning, and she's Thunder and Blackbird, but one of them has to go, because I mean, she may be hero of the resistance, but Lightning appeared. Thunder appeared first. So, and then it came to the point when even that meta computing hacking guy, he seeked out Gamby, which was really smart for him to do, and he knows about Black Lightning and his hidden weaponry. But I'm glad he didn't find any files of that he was involved with the meta abduction, where he seeks them out and then he targets them. And he finally finds out that who ordered the hit on Gamby, that he had to be presumed dead, and it was that woman that was already dead. Her name slipped my mind at the moment, but she was the one that got seriously electrically burned. They made it look like it was Black Lightning that did it, because her face appeared on the screen, and she's the one that's been basically rubbing in Tobias's face. If he screws up, you'll be albino dust, in her words. I think that's what was her words. And we didn't see much about Tobias at this point, because he's probably locked up and then slowly getting burned up and fastly aging again. So I guess we'll have to wait and see until I watch the 11th episode and then get fully caught up. But I will start with the reactions again, but unfortunately there are going to be some changes involved in my YouTube channel, because I mean, with my new coursework I'm doing, and I'm trying to build up some new time. Hopefully it doesn't interfere with my reacting work, because I mean, I've been doing that first before I even started this, but hopefully I'll think of some more video timing and video editing, and then hopefully post them up before the end of the weekend, which was the usual plan. So why don't we get started with the next few episodes of Black Lightning, Batwoman, and Supergirl. So I think we should continue on. Okay guys, now we're moving on to episode 11, and it's of course the continuing episode of episode 10. Hey Eva. Well, it turns out that she's not another twin that was created by the Seven Paragons. It turns out she was a doppelganger of another Earth, where Beth did survive the car crash, but unfortunately the mother didn't, and Kate jumped into the car and pulled her straight back out. So I'm guessing, was it either Oliver, or was it either Kara, who did a little change and gave Kate a second chance to be part of something that she hasn't had for like 15 years, and that was to be a sister again, and she got that chance again. And Mouse was hell-bent of getting Alice out of police custody, and then he got the hold of the commissioner's son, and got a hold of the mayor's son, and I did not appreciate why he didn't put up the bat signal, all because she came out she was gay, which was disrespectful for me. I mean, come on, it's 2020. You need to grow up. And then the stepsister came in and found out that she was a double ganger from another Earth, and then she started going, "What if there are other multiple Earths?" And it was like, yeah, Kate is trying to keep her mouth shut about that while drinking her beer. And I love her title of her nightclub, The Hold Up. I really like that title, and I hope that guy across the street in the restaurant is not enjoying it at all. Because I mean, he got told in front of everybody he has something against gays, and obviously the ex-girlfriend is still being a bitch about it. And boy, Alice got right into her skin, saying that she's still refusing to come out. I mean, true enough, it is still difficult to come out, but once it's been taking that long, and in that storyline, and how much that Alice was getting there, which was crazy. And one thing that was crazy, that doppelganger Beth thought it was an excellent idea to disguise herself as her, but of course, Mouse was prepared. He had that hidden code about the whole lines thing, and I should have saw it coming when she had that fishing line sewed onto her book, but she was basically distracting her to remove the wire so she can use it to release herself from police custody. And now she's escaped, but now the looks of things, Mouse is in police custody and in Metropolis General, and hopefully he'll get sent to Arkham Asylum. But one thing I do hope, that doctor not only captured her and kept her prisoner and basically ruined her birthday and murdered that cat, which was unbelievably a shame, and rubbing that newspaper on her face saying that she's already been forgotten. I hope Alice kills her, and I can't believe that was that moment she turned into Alice. It was really creepy. And basically I saw how Kate refused to leave Beth in that car. She refused, but luckily she ripped that car apart and brought her out. But luckily she was okay, everybody was okay, and they had a birthday together, which was lovely. And unfortunately it got ruined that both Alice and Beth were both suffering heart attacks. So since when doppelgangers are having trouble staying in the same place? I'm pretty sure there's a theory there that Barry didn't mention, but I'm probably forgetting about it. Oh, it was, I should have saw that coming. Well, actually, I did saw it coming. I knew there was something fishy going on between the two of them. We're hopefully in the next episode we'll be able to figure out why she was having those type of headaches, and I kind of hope brainwaves don't move to the other direction, and where Beth is Alice and Alice is Beth, and they do the whole screw uppy thing, which hopefully doesn't come to that. And hopefully, thanks to the appearance of Batwoman on top of the Gotham City Police Department, they'll know the message, turn on the bat signal when it's needed, and don't be a dick. Anyway, stay tuned for the next video, which is coming up right now. So, I did enjoy how it started off. Brainy does this weird experiment involving the streets, but it turns out it was calculations of how it's going to cause the traffic collision on a police patrol van by transporting a complete psycho version of Wen, as in another Earth's proper toy maker. He looked completely twisted, he looked completely demented and completely psychotic, and Lex Luthor and Brainy was helping him, and only to steal a lock of his hair. So our Wen appears from the future, but not as a Legionnaire, but a father and a husband in the future, and her daughter goes by the name of Mary. And he's starting off his new life amazingly well, and he has an amazing get-up, and I'm pretty sure he's responsible for the design. And his powers involving the ring was inspired by Nia Knowles' many times great-granddaughter from the future, which I thought was really nice. And it turns out that if he doesn't stop the evil toy maker, his future would be completely erased into a complete mess. And William, he's getting into complete crosshairs, into getting involved into Lex Luthor and try to get a big story on him, because he seems to believe that he's up to no good. So by the looks of it, the rebirth of the Earth didn't completely erase his head. So and also Lena has to get some intel with Andrea, and telling her that she knows about Leviathan. Yes, finally got the name right. Leviathan. Yes. And Brainy and Nia are getting really uncomfortable with each other, and she's trying to get over the breakup, and with her friends, including Cara and Alex, and her girlfriend being majorly supportive. And kudos on John Jones of finding the tower, as in the Watchtower, which he has stashed in his office. And by the looks of it, he has a new armor. I don't know why he was wearing that. And he has these emergency buttons, not only just for Kara and Martian Manhunter, but also for the Dreamer, which is the wee wave bit, which is amazing. And I wonder what Wen calls himself in the future, because he's the only human Legionnaire into the group. And things were starting to get really close with William and getting involved with Lex Luthor, and it really was disgusting seeing Lex Luthor's action figure, especially with that damn beard. Lex Luthor does not own it, does not have a beard. And he's really getting on Kara's nerves. He even said her identity and her recording, well, the name slipped my mind that she had to break it. That must have annoyed her really bad. Then Toyman wanted to become a legacy, so he decided to blow himself up. But luckily, that it didn't change the course of history. He's completely clean, and hopefully he'll be returning home to his wife and daughter with no complications. Sorry about that. Even Wen knew something was going on with Brainy, and boy, he got seriously pissed off when he found out, and also felt fine about it after, but he will come clean at some point and tell the entire team what he's been doing. And I'm pretty sure with him and Nia Null, that's going to be a permanent breakup, because I mean, look how many times, well, basically this is their second time breaking, well, I think the last one was basically a break until he finally realizes to stop naming every bone in her body into a poem, because I mean, if I was him, I'd be putting a virus in my brain right now if I was doing something that stupid. But that episode was fun, and I think the name of the episode is called Back to the Future, because I mean, I know there's a title, Back to the Future, involved. So anyway, hope to see you again in the next vlog, which would be Black Lightning. And boy, her addiction has gotten really bad, and that rogue ASA agent thought it was an excellent idea to give her back her handbag so she can get back into her drugs again. And by the looks of things, well, not by the looks of things, it's been official. Jen finally found out that her ex-boyfriend has become an ASA killing machine. And thanks to TC, he's able to find out that the real Cleo is still there. He's still in there. And, boy, Black Lightning was this close for killing Modell. And since Earth Prime has been created, a new story and a new background has been put on Modell, that he's originally from Gotham. So that probably means in his latest backstories from his past, he probably did some dealings with Lex Luthor or Bruce Wayne, and probably obviously how things go on around that front. And Lady Eve was part of the resurrection as well, along with Lala. And Grace is back together with Anissa, which is great, and she's able to control her powers because her fear of abandonment has been messing her up, messing with her focus. And it turns out that the only way to sort it out is with her connection with Anissa, and she's back together with her in her loft. And well, I mean, it's been a hell of a roller coaster. Well, Tobias, he's out of ASA custody, and nearly did a slugging on Lynn, but luckily she was prepared and gave him a bit of a slugging. And Painkiller, he was assigned to kill the entire Pierce family, but luckily with Thunder and Black Lightning, they were able to fight back, along with Jen. She was able to fight back, but she was she was on an emotional roller coaster after seeing what's been happening. That Odell's been messing with her head, turned her into a killing machine, and she was planning to kill Odell, and finding out that her ex-boyfriend is back from the dead and turned into a killing machine. Well, luckily, Team Black Lightning, along with Gambit, got their hands on Cleo, and luckily he's sedated. And the look on Odell's face when they did a switcheroo on him, he thought he was going to be tortured, but they just wanted to record the volume of his voice, and as soon as he was unconscious, scan his face, so they could plan to terminate the barricade of Freeland that's been going on since he started showing up. But it all went south, and he was moved out of the city limits and went straight back to Gotham. So I'm pretty sure at some stage Kate's going to be having a new player, or maybe. But I wonder how things are going to pan out, since everybody knows about Cleo, and Jen is majorly pissed off that they all know. But I think the person she should be pissed off more should be her mother, since she was the first to find out, and then Gamby, and then Jen, and then Black Lightning, and then Jennifer. Well, she was the last to know, and what's in store for Lady Eve and Lala, guess we're going to have to find out sooner or later. And I wonder what else has been changed in Freeland. Because, I mean, Odell, he's originally from Gotham. And it did sound pretty cool that she was able to go into outer space, which was pretty cool. And her powers are getting bigger every day, and I don't know what limit she has. And she did warn her dad that she saw two separate sides of her destiny of being a metahuman. One side she's a criminal, and one side she's imprisoned with the ASA. But luckily, she's trying her best not to do any of those, but she still has her mindset on killing Odell. Because, I mean, originally she wanted to kill Tobias after what he did to Khalil. I think deep down, that people are going to have to watch out for her, because I think she's going to be killing to the brain, because first it was Tobias, and now it's Odell. Who's next?